Today on Focal Point, we're going to discuss photography with Amanda Stephenson, an instructor in the Photographic Imaging Department at CCP. Talk with faculty members about the Writers' Showcase and discuss Obamacare with some students. Stay with us. Hi, welcome to Focal Point on CCP TV, the Emmy-nominated educational channel of Community College of Philadelphia. I'm Darlene Muntz, a student in the Communications Arts curriculum. I am here with professional photographer and instructor here at the college, Amanda Stephenson. Welcome, Amanda.
Thank you, Darlene.
Amanda, you seem to have a very extensive resume. Please tell us a little bit about your background in photography.
I was very fortunate to know I wanted to be a photographer at a young age. I was always creative, and at age 12 I got my first camera, and I've never put it down. My mother was a model, so I was exposed to the world of photography and saw it as a wonderful industry, arts industry, that I could utilize my creative talents in a commercial environment and make a living as an artist. So I started at Community College of Philadelphia, graduated with my degree, an associate's degree of applied sciences, and then went on to Rochester Institute of Technology with a bachelor's in fine arts. Immediately got a job in Switzerland working as a staff photographer for Ciba Geigy, and then wanted to come back to the United States, had the opportunity to work with several incredible, famous photographers, and then launched my own company here.
Well, what do you specialize in?
I love photographing people and what they do, how they do it. I get to learn about why people choose their professions, what makes them tick, what their assets are, and how they use it in a career, in their careers. So all people for commercial advertising needs is basically what I love to do.
Are there any type of associations that you're connected with as a photographer?
I'm a member of American Society of Media Professionals. They are an organization, though there is no union for photographers. We work together and help each other stick up for copyright issues or discuss pricing. I'll be able to call members and say, how will you price this job of, shooting an interview for TV or doing a headshot or whatever the specific job is. There's a camaraderie with us.
Amanda, tell us, what do you love about photography?
Every day is a different day when I take pictures. I'm either on location, I'm in the studio, I'm working with a team of people, creative group, to come up with a story, with the setting, the lighting, how we want to portray a person and bring them into their best light. It's always a problem-solving situation. Okay. Every day is different.
Okay. Well, what type of challenges do you face as a photographer?
I guess I'm still always trying to do better. Every shoot, I'm learning something. There's never a day that goes by that I don't learn something new.
How do you expect to expand in the future?
With DSLR cameras, still photographers have had the advantage of moving into the motion industry. And the beautiful thing about that is that you can have a very reasonably inexpensive camera and have selective focus that makes it look like cinematography almost. Something that before you would have to have a very expensive camera that nobody could afford. So there's this creative outlet of being able to do motion, which to me feels like a very 3D experience. You get to add sound and interviews and emotion and lighting to create this. So I have developed a team of people, audio, grip, cameramen, very talented people that I work with, and I would like to move more into being the director of photography for commercials, for webisodes, for anything internet related. Honestly, I'm not ready to move into motion picture, but more on a small scale. I love the teamwork. So I hope to bring in more people on a full-time basis to do projects like that.
Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thanks for being with us, Amanda, and thank you for the insight into photography.
Thank you.
What I know about the Supreme Court is that it handles most controversy cases that can't be solved in the lower courts.
What I do know it is the highest court in our lands. It supersedes, I guess, the state and federal, if I'm not mistaken.
What I know about the Supreme Court is the highest court.
Their job is to interpret the Constitution. They're elected for life, or unless they decide to step down. And we recently just got a new addition chosen by our president.
I do not believe that a Supreme Court justice should be for life, because I feel as though, like anyone, you have to keep on doing the job. You have to be, up and at it, and if you fall back, then I think the job should be taken from you.
Yes, I think it should continue to be a case, because it's definitely a great thing when a president can appoint someone that can change the way the makeup of America looks when they put someone on that Supreme Court.
I think with time, some of them might be too old, so they can't really relate to what's going on.
Not necessarily, because I think Judge Gorsuch is about 45 years old, so if he lives to be 90, he'll be on there close to 50 years. And if his discretion is not good with the times changing the way they are, it could be a problem.
Really? I think they need to be retrained and reordered.
I think it is a bit of a very complicated answer, as my understanding of it is if they are just constantly elected, they begin to work, they're not really focusing on what is their own interpretation of justice rather than just trying to get votes. But also I can see that them being elected for life is, or at least until they resign, becomes very problematic, as then they basically have unlimited power to the extent that they have, or it can't be taken from them.
I would say Supreme Courts are very important to a democracy because, from my own experience, courts at the state level is, they are biased to certain genders and certain, race.
Oh, it's very important because it's the highest court of the land. So when there's any type of situations and problems that are rejected in the basic courts, then this is the final step. And the final step is final.
You do want to have a balance. You do want to have when legislator or Congress feel like they can't get to agreements to have a balance, some way to rule. So you do want that system to be in place.
Documents like the Constitution, which they are occasionally Constitution, Bill of Rights, they add to, stuff like that they interpret, those texts really do need to be brought into new contexts as time marches on and as people change and ideas change in a democracy.
So I will hope that it's something that we can go past them, where we can get a just due, a fair trial or something. So I would say Supreme Courts are very important.
Now, wasn't that interesting? On a more serious note, let's hear what CCP students think about Obamacare.
Yes, I am under Obamacare.
Currently, I'm not.
I receive my health coverage by my employer.
I had health coverage before Obamacare was brought on board. I switched when I became a full-time worker. I am not sure if that particular plan falls under Obamacare.
I'm actually under insurance from my employer.
I think Obamacare was the time that it was implemented was well needed. You know, a lot of poor people, a lot of financially challenged people were able to get health care.
Knowing that he was the president, that's a nice way for him to provide something that people with low income can be able to afford and also get the right health care that they needed at that time.
Well, there's mixed emotions about it. I know there's some people that like it, some people that don't like it. But from my understanding, it helps a lot of low-income people.
I actually think Obamacare is really good. I mean, I work with the elderly, so a lot of those people are dependent upon like Obamacare and Medicare and Medicaid. So it allows them to be able to continue to care for themselves.
Insurance in principle is that those who can cover those who can't until they themselves need to be covered.
I think he kind of failed to replace it because he really didn't have anything to replace it with. Like ever since he started his whole entire campaign, he kept saying that he was going to replace Obamacare with something great. This is going to be something good. But we're like, what the hell is it?
He created, as soon as he started campaigning, he created this polarization in this country, and it brought out the worst.
I don't think if Trump thinks about the low-income family, because he's a rich guy, he has always been rich, so I don't feel like he thinks about it or he knows exactly what he's doing.
I think, well, according to the pundits, he failed to pass it because the Democrats opposed his reprieving it, and quite a few members, further right members of the Democratic House and Senate didn't think it did enough.
He doesn't even give an example of what he's doing. We ask him, or people ask him, okay, you want to replace the health care, what are you going to do? He doesn't give any details. It's just, it's going to be better, that type stuff, you know, and no answers.
Honestly, I don't think it's better because I don't know what it is. I can't think something is better than one thing if I have no information on it. And still to this day, I don't think anybody has any information on this phantom healthcare. It's just something supposedly better than Obamacare, but I've still yet to see anything to come into fruition.
No, I mean, it's trash. It's trash. It's, you know, it just goes to show how deep the divide is in this country, how deep racism runs.
I think they basically just want to repeal, basically, that was basically the Republicans and Trump's platform, and I've never really heard any fundamental replacement, even if it is a totally unattractive one.
Canada, France, and other countries, they have free universal health care. And if you look at those countries, they have less rate of mental illnesses or disabilities or stuff like that. America, on the other side, they have really high problems of mental illnesses and all this stuff because it's hard for them to be open and go to the hospital and talk to people, because sometimes all you need is just somebody, like a doctor, to listen to you.
I think that would be great. Other countries have it, right? So why not here? Give it a try.
I think universal health care is a human right. Everyone deserves to have health care. You know, why are we the richest nation in this world, and yet we cannot cover our own citizens?
Honestly, I think universal health care is like bomb. I mean, because like how many people can literally go to the hospital and get treated for something and know that they're covered no matter what?
I believe that everyone has a right to access to health care. The degree and levels of option, certain kinds of options that you're going to exercise, I don't know, I don't want to jump all over the idea, but certain levels of cosmetic surgery, for example, that is not necessarily corrective. Some of those things maybe should incur a cost.
I work for a pharmaceutical company, so therefore, you know, I know the motivations that they have as far as pushing policy, and it's just outright greed. It's just outright greed. If you can't, you know, if you can't afford to pay, then you can't play.
It's greed. The root of all evil is money. Everything is ran through the almighty dollar. But I'm just saying it's just a piece of paper that we gave value to. But that's the main reason why we still don't have universal health care, is because people just want to make a lot of money.
I believe the United States probably doesn't have universal health care in large part because health care, like many aspects of public goods and services, are tied to a profit margin.
The Republicans want to fight it. They don't want it. They want to continue to get rich just like the pharmaceutical companies want to continue to get rich off the backs of low-income people.
You have a lot of healthy people, you know, and me being one. I rarely use my insurance, you know, but you have people that actually need it and should not be let go because they can't afford it. If we keep our citizens healthy, then we have a healthy nation.
Well, I would like to say by voting for those that represent us that want universal health care.
You said you were going to do this for us, your American people, to help you get into office. Now it's time to practice what you preach.
Frankly, I think that President Obama is probably the most liberal president we're going to have for a while. I think that his legislative agenda got really hamstrung with the midterm, the 2010 midterm elections.
I'm not with Trump at all, but if he can do something to be better, like he said he wants to make America great again, at least he should start with the health of people. If he can do something better than Obamacare, I think that would be great, but I don't see anybody topping what Obama did, especially when it comes to health care.
Well, in their eyes, it'll be better than Obamacare. In their eyes, it'll be stripping the average Joe, the people that really need it, it'll be stripping them of their health coverage. It's going to be bad. It's going to be bad.
It is possible they can come up with something better than Obamacare, but as of yet, I haven't seen anything leaning towards that route.
I am with Obamacare, definitely.
Interesting. Well, that's it for today. I want to thank my guest, Amanda Stephenson.
Thank you so much, Darlene, for having me today.
Oh, it's our pleasure. And I want to thank the viewers for tuning in. You have been watching Focal Point, the Community College of Philadelphia magazine show on CCP-TV, the Emmy-nominated educational channel of Community College of Philadelphia. All segments for Focal Point are produced by the students in the digital video production curriculum. I'm Darlene Montz, a student in the communication arts curriculum here at CCP. See you next time.